Hello. I'm back. And let me put my hair back. I have no like good clips to pin my hair back with, so bobby pins it is. Cute. I wanted to film a get ready with me, like just chit chat, but I'm so behind on my uploads that I need to get like my Aquarius look up, my Valentine's Day look up. I have so many series that I want to do in my head, so I'm going to try to do several videos in one and just see where that gets us, because I filmed another video that I ended up deleting because I was like not feeling it. So part 2 of back to the basics. I wanted to save the foundation complexion video for when my skin is better, because I've been having a lot of issues with my skin. That's like a whole nother journey. Like, I don't know, my whole body is just acting weird lately and I don't know what's going on. But then I'm like, you know, why not just go ahead and film it when my skin's not at its best, because it's kind of the point of it anyway, right? So I'm gonna show you my tips and my tricks that I've learned on how to get a smooth, like semi-flawless glowy complexion when you have dry skin, textured skin, imperfect skin. And yeah, I am slightly self-tanned. I self-tanned last week and it's coming off now, but I'm not my normal pale self. So let's go ahead and get started. Personally, I don't have a specific primer that I feel like alters it. I feel like it's all about the technique. There's so many primers that I love. I'm always using like dewy primers or moisturizing primers, illuminating primers. I'm not really big into pore filling primers or anything like that. And I'm not really worried about the longevity of my makeup. Like, I feel like it lasts a long time, or it lasts the same amount of time, period. I feel like that's more based on like what foundation I use, not so much the primer. But I used this primer the other day and I used to use it all the time, and I really loved the way my complexion looked. So it's the Loreal Spackle Supercharged Fortified Under Makeup Primer, and it feels really good. Like, it just feels like a cream. But I basically lather my face in this. I take it to my under eye. Like, I don't understand people that use primer like just like in here or in here. Like, they spot prime. I prime the whole thing. I go my jawline. I prime all of it. Mostly because, I mean, I want it all to be the same texture, but like, I want a barrier in between my skin and my makeup, if that makes any sense. So it gets kind of tacky once it starts drying, which I really like, because I feel like my makeup does stick to it. But this, it doesn't fill in my pores. It doesn't make me dewy really, but it doesn't make me matte. It's just kind of like a basic primer, so I feel like anybody could use it. So I really like it. Now for foundation, this might be too dark for me now. If I'm freshly self-tanned, it's fine, but I forgot that this is like my favorite foundation in the drugstore, which is saying a lot because I love my Flower Light Illusion foundation. I love that foundation. But this is the L'Oreal, just OG True Match. I wish they put a pump on these bottles, but it's whatever. I'm in the shade N4 Buff Beige. Again, this might be a little dark. If it is, we'll fix it with concealer, but I'm just gonna take this and shake it up real good. It's very liquidy, but I just love this foundation, like, and I just kind of swipe it on my face. And you can use any of your favorite foundation brushes. My favorite if you know, you know, is the It Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush. I know this is like, it comes out like once a year for like a limited quantity or a limited time or whatever, and then it's gone till the next year. But any like flat, dense brush will work. I just start blending this, and I kind of push and blend, because you don't want to just be like, you know. Make sure, of course, that you don't stop like right here. You want to blend it down your neck, past your jawline. And even if you're not concerned about the color, which like I am, because my self tanner is coming off. Like really, that's, yeah. This does not match me at all. Even if you're not concerned with the color so much, you do want to take, you don't have to take it necessarily all the way down your neck, but you do want to take it down just so everything's the same texture. And it's not like you're wearing a mask. Once that's blended, I take my damp sponge. I'll use any sponge. I'll use my Beauty Blender, my e.l.f. sponge. But I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, and I just lightly pounce it over my whole face. I do this because, first of all, I feel like if by any chance brush strokes are left, this blends it out. But also it picks up any excess foundation, I feel like, and just makes everything just look more blended and softer to me. I forgot all about this concealer, and I'm so mad that I didn't put it in my 2019 favorites, because this is my favorite drugstore concealer still, over the Wet n Wild, over my e.l.f. camo. This is the reigning champ, so I don't even know what slipped my mind. It's the Flower Light Illusion concealer. No concealer, high-end or drugstore, has beat this for me yet, like, period. But I forgot about it because when I'm pale, I use the shade Fair, and I ran out of that, and so I hadn't touched it in months. But when I'm tan, I use the shade Light, and I'm gonna run this under my eyes. Depending on, I sometimes apply it differently depending on what kind of look I'm going for. But, you know, I'll get it pretty good, like over here. Or I'll bring it in on my nose if I'm like going crazy with the contour. And I always get the center, and I get underneath like the corners of my bottom lip, because something about doing that, when you overline your lips later, they look bigger. So, pro tip. Okay, I'm going to blend this out with my sponge. Just tapping. You want to make sure it's very easy when you're using a sponge to overblend. You don't want to overblend, because then you're just going to be taking product off. So I blend, and take your time with it. Like, this is one of those concealers that can sit. If it was like the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, you can't leave that sitting. Like, you have to blend it immediately. But this, you don't. So just make sure I get the edges. That way it's like blended. So I want to discuss some things, because I hate that in every video it's like, it's been a week or 2 weeks since I uploaded, and then I'm apologizing and I'm saying that I'm going to get better and I'm going to be more consistent, and I hate it. I hate that it's like I'm lying, I'm being a hypocrite. I hate inconsistency, like. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know, why am I even apologizing? Like, it's not my job. I wish it was, but it's not. It doesn't give me any source of income. I don't get PR. I don't get anything like from it. I love doing it. I don't do it for that. Don't get me wrong. I love doing it, which is why I do it. I'm really hard on myself about not being consistent, but if I'm just being totally honest, my personal life has been hell the past year. And then I started a new job, and that has been different than I expected. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't expect going into it. And it's just been like shitty day after shitty day. And this is not something I can do if my heart is not in it. And I'm a hard worker. Like, if I'm sick, I go to work. If I'm heartbroken, I go to work. But sitting in this chair and looking at this camera and acting like I'm happy and smiling and talking about makeup, it's really hard for me to do that. Like, I can't, period. It's really hard for me. I can't fake it, like, with y'all. Like, I can't. I don't want to, and I want to be as open as I possibly can, but it's just stuff that I'm not particularly ready to talk about yet. Or, you know, I know there's people that know me that are subscribed, and it's just a lot of stuff going on. Maybe one day when I come out of this, because I'm going to come out of it, I will make a video, a story time, a lessons learned, I don't know, video talking about everything. But right now I just hope that no one's upset with me, and that, you know, you're understanding, and that you still enjoy the content that I upload when I can upload it. That's all I can hope. So a big tip on getting a smooth complexion. Keep in mind, I have dry skin and I have textured skin. I'm using the Airspun powder. This is the translucent extra coverage. It's supposedly a dupe for the Laura Mercier powder. I've never tried the Laura Mercier powder, so I don't know. I love this powder though. My grandmother used this powder, and so smelling it is like nostalgic. Anyway, I just dunk some in the lid, and I take my damp sponge. I don't bake. I bake under my contour. I do not bake under my eyes because it's too drying for me. But you just take a little powder and you just pounce it with your damp sponge all over your face. And it just instantly smooths everything. And it's not too powdery, it's not cakey. It just like seals in your complexion. And I only powder my whole face if my skin is extra bad and I feel like I need extra coverage, or if I'm doing something where I feel like I need my makeup to last through a freaking rainstorm. Like, those are the only situations where I would do that. Or like if I'm wearing a foundation that doesn't set well on its own. But doing this method, I don't mind powdering my whole face because it doesn't look powdery. And I do powder, like if you've taken your foundation or concealer or whatever down your neck, I do powder that because you want it to be the same texture, you want it to set. And when we go and add bronzer later, then it'll blend out smoother. Alright guys, this is where I'm going to leave you because I have another video coming up that's all about contour and highlighting, but this is basically the gist of my like flawless smooth base. The only thing that I do feel like is beneficial that I can't do it yet, but setting spray, making sure that once you've applied your blush and your bronzer, it's gonna melt this powder into your skin to ensure that you don't look powdery and to ensure that your makeup lasts all day. You know my favorite setting sprays, I use them all the time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Leave comments down below of your favorite products for your perfect complexion, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.